welcome to another episode of Game Chat. I'm Katie, and with me today I've got Chris.
Hello.
And Bex.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about Overwatch 2.
Woo.
Controversial subject, but here we are. So it's fair to say we're all very, very big Overwatch fans.
Yeah.
So my first question to you guys is, when you heard them say, okay, so Overwatch, we were doing Overwatch 2, like, we're moving away from Overwatch 1, it's going to be Overwatch 2. How did you feel about that? Did you think it was needed? Think they could have just added on to Overwatch 1? What was, like, your initial, like, when they announced?
This was kind of at the start where we started to see, like, I'm very heavily involved in, like, the cosplay and the fandom side. So the fandom was starting to decline, like, content creation for the fandom was starting to decline. So my opinion was, yes, this will kind of liven it up again. It will give us more content. It will give us something to kind of eat, like a meal, a new meal almost.
Yeah. So you were excited. You think it was needed?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, what about you?
I think overall, probably not. Probably doesn't need a 2 on it. I think it could have been an expansion. Overall.
That was
but I was excited for
when
it though.
It first got announced.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I was excited for it still.
I was hyped for it. I'm hyped for the story. Like that's the thing. Like they could have been like, it's $69.99 for the story on its own, and I would have paid for it. Like, I wanted it, and I think if we weren't getting story, there would be no Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
It would be just an add-on to Overwatch 1. It would be like an overhaul. But I think
I agree with
just
that.
the addition of the story is what has kind of made them think we've got to put a 2 on the box.
Yeah.
Anyway.
when we first heard about it, it was implied that Overwatch 2 was going to be story first, PvP experience second, if I'm correct. Like, we were very much, it was very much sold and advertised as like this is going to be a really big
the story.
PvE. Yeah, this is going to be the story mode. And that was what I thought made the 2 necessary. Rather than, like, I know it was kind of like an Overwatch story mode with, so yeah, I think that was what made it so.
It reminded me of Destiny 2. That didn't necessarily need to be a 2, but then it came out and it's basically the same game but more. So same situation really, in my opinion.
Okay, so moving on, like, let's start with, say, like, the launch and some of the negative experience we've had. So day one, no one could get on the servers, and like, I remember saying to like the people we were going to play with, like, in Overwatch 1 they launch a new hero and no one can get on till the following day. We're not going to get on the day that it launches. And then I still sat there for like an hour trying to get in.
Longer than that.
We all knew that was going to happen, and yet everyone got mad about it anyway. Like, that's to be expected.
I know
it shouldn't be. Like, I know, like, a game should come out and it should work. But
from
past experience,
doesn't ever happen.
No, so
ever.
Everyone should have kind of like tampered their expectations, but that was one of the biggest problems on the launch.
I have a bit of a confession. I'm a PC player, and I kind of prepared for about an hour in advance. So my plan was, with my friends, we were going to jump on a Discord call. We were going to watch some Overwatch shorts, and we all kind of jumped on just after 7, and we were like, Overwatch 2 is live. So it was meant to go
people
live
got on early. Yeah,
we got on early. I
saw that
at about I think it was about 7:15, and we were like, "Oh my god, it's live! It's here! It's early!" Someone at Blizzard's press release early. They
had to do that on purpose, I reckon.
I think so, but we managed to play about 1 or 2 games before we gradually started to get kicked out.
Man.
So I think I got kicked out. One of my friends was like, "Oh, I'm just going to restart my game. It won't be a problem, just to sort out some settings and mess with my settings." So she restarted, and then we were like, "We can't get back in. What's these massive queues coming from? How come we can't get back in?" And that was about 10 to 8, I think. So 10 to 8, about 8ish. So we managed to play. I think that the evening after launch, as a PC player, I tried to get in and out, got in queues, kicked out of queues, back in queues, kicked out of queues. I think I managed to play about 2 games in the end. and then got kicked out, vice versa, and it just carried on. But yeah, I got 2 or 3 games on the opening night, so I was okay with that.
Yeah, I sat in. I think out of all of us on console, I think I sat in the queue the longest.
You did.
Just because I was like, fuck it, I got nothing else to play right now. So I did, and I got in eventually. At like, what was it? Like, it was definitely past 12 o'clock at midnight.
Wow.
So I got 4 games.
Nice.
You stayed in the queue. I went on a watch. I think I watched something with Lex on Netflix, and then when he went to bed, you messaged me like, I'm in. And then I came back on and I got in for a few games too.
Yeah.
The call.
I played a max of 4 games before I was
Winston's
kicked.
call. Yeah.
Twice. Twice for the first day that first couple of days that I got in. Every time I played 4 games, it kicked me. Which is weird.
I struggled to get into the servers for the first few days, but once I was in, I never got disconnected. There was one time I got disconnected, and that just happened to be in a comp match. I wasn't very happy about that. Then I got penalised for them kicking me off their server, which I wasn't happy about. But that's only happened once. Once I'm in the game, I was fine, and I never got disconnected. But a lot of like the people we play with who play on Xbox, they had a really rough time. Like, they could barely get into the game.
Yeah, I have a friend who plays on Switch. That was rough.
Yeah.
So
I imagine playing on Switch is rough anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I can't. I'm not saying. It's questionable, I think. But the
people
the
on
launch
Xbox
was rough. We kind of expected it, and unfortunately, I think from what we can tell, the issues with the cross progression was, from what I can tell, was related to Blizzard based on the fact that they were like, hey, we're sorting this out right now. The connectivity issues was unfortunately related to the 2 DDoS attacks that they had.
Yeah.
Which they had
that
one
sucked.
at pretty much dead on 8 o'clock, and then they had one they reported a second at about 4 a.m. for us. So obviously American people trying to get on the servers. Yeah, they reported another one, and then I think that they've had another since. So some people out there really don't want Overwatch 2 to succeed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The loss of content where people signing in, obviously like all their skins were gone. Me personally, when I got online, I went in and all my heroes were locked. I went to the stats and it's like you've played like 516 hours of Overwatch 1.
Wow.
But then I'm in my hero gallery and it's like, you've never played this game before in your life, all your heroes are locked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this about? So for the first few days, I was just having to play well, when I eventually unlocked D.Va, it wasn't too bad, like, so I just played D.Va, but like my mains, May and Symmetra, are like 2 of the last people you unlock, so I was a bit like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, what's the point?
Luckily, as a PC player, I didn't have this issue. However, we had a few of the new wave of skins which came out just before Overwatch 2 released, including the one that including the new Genji, like the Overwatch League skin that wasn't available. But obviously, there was a huge difference between I have all of my content, I have all of my stats, I have all of my hours, I have all my characters. I'm missing a few skins that I don't really use, in opposed to, unfortunately, console players who was like, I have nothing and I have to start again.
Everything did click back in for me after a few days. Everything did come back in, but then there was the only thing noticeably missing for me, which took a while to come back, was the Symmetra skin, the demon one from the Halloween event.
Was it the Hydra one?
You know, is that like the white one when they did the remix?
Yeah.
Or like the bluey white one?
Yeah.
So that was missing.
Yeah, that's the issue we had on PC. Yeah.
All the other skins
brand
come
new
back.
skins. Yeah.
All my heroes unlocked, and I couldn't find that skin.
Yeah.
That took, I'd say that took over a week.
Yeah, we had that. That's the issue we had on PC, and luckily that was the only
just
issue.
That one specific skin. That's strange.
No,
that's
but as
the
in
only one
the
that
new
I
recolors,
noticed.
the new recolors that they did for the anniversary, and a few of like, again, as I mentioned, the Overwatch League skins. But that was it. Luckily for us on PC, we pretty much, from what I can tell of my friends who played PC, the only issue we had was, oh no, a few skins that you don't really use are missing.
In terms of that, I was relatively lucky considering I was on console, because I had all my skins come across, all my characters, so I wasn't locked out from anything. The only thing that didn't come across straight away for me was the battle pass and the watch point pack skins. So technically I was missing some skins because of that.
Yeah.
But that took a bit of time. Mine weirdly came in, so it's like I had each skin appeared like one would appear, then I'd have play a game, and then I'd come back into it, and then another would appear. So they'd slowly appear, and then eventually my battle pass was like, yeah, I'm activated now. So I was just like, okay.
As it does, yeah.
So weird way of doing it, but sure, yeah. And then, like, eventually everything came in for me. I think I was the first to have everything on there in the console people.
Nice.
Luckily, and then everyone else was like, yeah, I'm still waiting. Rob was there. I was like, I still can't get in the game.
Oh yeah, Rob had rough
time. Even now, it's like he can get into our game. We'll be in the middle of the game. He gets disconnected.
Oh, one of the funny ones was
the Xbox people.
He got every time he got an achievement, it kicked him, which I thought was funny. But like that sucks.
What, like the battle pass?
No, like an Xbox. I think an Xbox achievement,
like a trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like,
oh no,
and then it kicked him from the game. I was like, that shouldn't be happening. That's weird.
Rob, stop being so good.
It's because you think about it. It's a new game. Everyone gets achievements every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
When it finally stabilised and you could finally join, they locked Bastion out of play.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was rough.
We've all suffered, but no one has suffered like Rob has suffered.
I was gonna say I had that issue in Overwatch 1, and it's like the worst feeling of like, because when they did it so they had a major issue with D.Va I think it was about a year ago now, and she was just gone. And like they did it before they kind of said anything about it. So like when they removed Torb and Bastion, I think Bastion's still gone.
Yeah.
They removed them both because there was basically a game-changing bug. So Bastion's ult would just fire, and it was making some absolute scenes of just a consistent rain of fire.
It happened to me once. It was fun.
Yeah. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. So it was a good reason. It was a viable reason for removal. But they kind of, on their social medias, they did like a little themed, they're in the workshop, like a little themed lore kind of like little post, which made me like quite smart. Like I was like, that's quite a cute way of doing it. Like
I think it's funny how
it's kind of nice to see. It's kind of nice to see like the social media people are kind of doing more. Like they're doing a bit more communication, because when D.Va was removed about a year ago, it was like, no, she's gone, goodbye, no nothing.
You can't even look at the skins. But like it's been removed from the hero gallery, which I think is weird. It's like he never existed.
Yeah, it's
it's strange.
It's changed the layout. It's like, where's all the characters?
It was Fever Dream.
This is where he comes back with his shield from the Overwatch 1 beta.
Oh yeah, Overwatch 1 beta.
Can you imagine?
Bastion comes back. Return of the King.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually like completely change his ult when he comes back.
They're probably just it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it's overpowered. I think when people were using it as a bug and then because I know a lot of people like on the PC, a lot of people were getting reported for it. So like on the PC,
not my fault it's broken.
No, but because they were aware of it being broken and taking advantage of it to win games.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair, but it's also like, come on.
Speaking of locking heroes, so like, this is the one thing I just couldn't get my head around. So we'll move now into the sort of the changes they made.
Yeah.
Bringing in Overwatch 2. Now, this whole thing, so I looked it up because I wanted to, but I said explain. So the idea behind locking the heroes for a new player. So this is their explanation. So it's called the first time user experience, designed to gradually ease players into the game following consistent feedback from new Overwatch users feeling overwhelmed by its various modes and characters. So I think it was like you needed to win 50 quick play matches to unlock comp.
Yeah. And
if you wanted the entire roster unlocked, you had to win you had to play 100 games.
Yeah.
Because like if you win, I think it classes as two games. So it says, this focused experience eases new players into the world of Overwatch by teaching them about different modes, rules, and other high-level aspects of the game in an approachable way. Mostly, the FTUE restrictions are lifted while in a group, so new players can team up with their friends at any time to play almost any game mode. Competitive is the exception to this rule because new players must complete a specific challenge to gain this game mode. So basically what they're saying is like, if you'd never played it before and a lot of stuff is locked for you, but then you joined my game and I took us into a mode that you didn't have like unlocked, you would still be able to play it with me.
Yeah.
Like, I that doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
Okay.
I get what they're saying. Like, but I don't see how locking things away, especially the heroes, is a good way to introduce someone to a hero shooter.
That's the way I see it. Like, I get what they're trying to go for, and they have good intentions with it. But like, the way I see it, what happens if someone new players and the last hero they unlock would have been their main if they were like unlocked at the start, but yet say if someone's like, I don't know who was unlocked. I imagine Soldier's up there at the
he was.
front, right?
That's who I had to scrub when I went on all my heroes.
If they start with Soldier and they get comfortable with Soldier, but say, I don't know, someone like, who's the last to get unlocked? Probably.
It was like May and Symmetra.
Say they could have been a really good May player. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to jump on and play May after having like 100 games with Soldier. So it kind of limits, like, you're going to get a bunch of Soldier mains from new players, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like having the option there to choose everything would have been, you would have had a lot more mains for different characters. I know obviously some are harder to play than others, but like having the option there, I'm always a fan of having options to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Locking things away. I don't know.
I personally disagree.
Okay.
I like it as an idea because I've recently played with someone who did not play much of Overwatch 1 and now wants to move into Overwatch 2 now that it's all flashy and new. And I was talking to him and being like, okay, well, what characters do you play? And he was like, oh, well, I play this. I think he was like, oh, I play Mercy. I play a few other characters. And I was like, watching him play, I was like, oh, you could really do with playing this character here. And he was like, I don't know how to play them. And I was like, okay, like, what characters can you play? And he was like, oh, well, I can play this character and this character because, you know, I've played them a lot. And essentially his issue was that he had so many characters within Overwatch 1 that he only focused on the few characters that he could understand and play easily. And therefore he hasn't then learned the whole roster. So having that unlock the roster as you go system in would have benefited a player like him because he can learn characters as he goes rather than being overwhelmed with everyone at the start.
Oh, so you think the intention is you play as like Soldier and then you get to the level and it's like, oh, you've unlocked Junkrat, and then you think people would be like, oh, I'll try that hero.
Yep, exactly.
No, that like I agree with you, that does make sense. But like so
it takes away the freedom of choice.
And also
a little bit. I do agree with that.
I think it also puts the pressure on like a lot of games where you're going to have people going, oh, I'll play Junkrat for the first time. They're going to jump in a game with people who regularly play and they're going to be bad necessarily. Not necessarily, but always. Starting out on a character no one's necessarily good. So that's going to make a lot of games like hard to play for people who regularly play if they got a bunch of newbies coming in. You know what I mean?
I also look at it from the perspective of me so I played League of Legends a fair few years ago. And that has such a massive roster of characters. And it's kind of one of those games that you need to kind of understand how characters work to be able to counter them. So there's a character, for example, called Nocturne. Sorry, I'm taking League of Legends in the Overwatch podcast. Sorry. And basically his ult is he turns everything like on your screen black and he like jumps at you. For me as a player who does not know how that works, because League of Legends has a cast of over 100 characters, that was terrifying. So I kind of like this whole unlock as you go, learn as you go kind of mentality and mindset.
So you think that builds better players?
I think it does, yeah. Because it means that you're exposed to characters as you go. It means that you learn as you go. It means that you can learn and find things and then fall in love with them. And then you can also, like, you know, I think, like, for a lot of Overwatch 1 players, that's kind of how we started, because that's how I kind of started as well, is that, like, I played a lot of D.Va, and I was like, oh, I quite like the tank role, I'll play other tanks. Which it would stop things like that, because I'd have to, like, unlock. But yeah, I think it has its benefits and its, like,
you know what?
Negatives
when this happened to me, I was like, I really don't understand this. Like, I don't know why they would think this is a good idea. But you have changed my, you've opened my eyes, you've widened my, I like that. Yeah, see, again,
It makes
it's
sense,
very.
I think.
I understand
does.
it, but I think
It
100
does.
game is a lot.
Yeah,
I think
and
maybe lower that
again,
bit.
I'm personally 50-50 on it. I can see its benefits, and I can also see its kind of like negatives as well. The kind of negative that I see with having locked heroes is that I'm a tank main. I think you don't unlock many tanks to start off with. So say like again off the top of my head, I'm not sure who you unlock, but if I unlocked a few characters and I didn't like any of those characters,
Yeah.
I could also then see the kind of I don't want to carry on playing this game because I don't like any of the characters and I don't want to grind for new characters.
That's
so I
what
can see that as a
thinking.
negative as well.
Like
Yeah.
when I first started playing Overwatch, I was not very good at shooter games. Like
No, I wasn't either.
I couldn't shoot, and
You're selling
it was
yourself short there,
actually-
Kate. You were good at Destiny.
well, this is what Destiny 2 was the game that taught me how to aim in shooters. Like as much as I love Overwatch and I played it loads, if I hadn't have played Destiny 2, I would not be as good as I am at Overwatch.
I mean, she
but
did change her controls on Destiny on Overwatch 2 to play like Destiny 2.
I
So
did.
Ideal also
I got
did the
all
same.
I got all like custom setups for all the people that are main and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
do as well.
So
Characters. Yeah.
say like I'm coming into Overwatch 2, like me personally, like, and I'm not very good at shooters. I'm in that same position I was back then. Like I can't shoot. Like I'm rubbish.
Yeah.
And I've got this reduced roster, and I'm kind of like, wow, I can't really shoot. So like I'm looking to play someone who doesn't necessarily have to be precise with an aim.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't, because I only had like the lock for like 2 days, so I can't remember who was readily available to me. But like, if that's someone out there like me and they're like, well, I can't really shoot, so like I would maybe like play, I don't know Reaper, because he's got like widespread on his guns, and he's locked, and they never get that far because they're like, oh, I can't really shoot, I can't really find a hero that suits me, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I mean, I know it's no skin off their nose because they've not paid for the game, so it's not like they've lost any money from it, but then that player has never got to that point where they found a character that they like click with. Like I mained McCree for so long, to the point where like some McCree was chosen in the game and I couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
So I chose May because Corey was like, haha, she looks like you, choose her. And I did for the last. and I played one game as that, and I literally like I stomped, like I got so many kills. I was like, wow, this character's for me.
Yeah.
Now I would never like, would I have got that far in Overwatch 2 with her being one of the very last characters to unlock? Probably not. No.
Yeah.
I would have gone back to Destiny 2. I'd still be playing it.
I would like to know the statistics though of how many new players
are maining who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, like, how many new players have Overwatch 2 actually had? Because I know, like, I personally don't know anyone who has started playing, that hasn't either played one or played one a bit or owned one. So I would like to know the statistics of how many brand new Overwatch players.
Oh, I imagine it's a lot, because
I'd imagine
you can get into the game for about 5 days.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's quite a lot. What in terms of that though, what I'd like to see them actually do, I know it might take a little bit of resources, but make tutorials for actual specific heroes.
Yeah,
so
that'd be cool.
Just to teach them the powers, because I feel like new players learning the powers in the midst of a actual multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Not the easiest thing to do.
Work.
No, especially for some of the complicated ones.
In Overwatch 1, I think it would be like you'd press, I think it was the left, like the D-pad, obviously not for you, Bex. I don't know what it would have been for you, but like,
I'll tell you.
It would bring up a screen, and it would like show you pictures of the abilities.
That was F1.
And it would like tell you all these abilities.
F1 for hero.
No, that doesn't work for me anymore.
No,
when I press that button, nothing happens.
Right. I think it might exist.
Because I had to look at the Kiriko moves.
Yeah.
So I know it's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It might be a different way of doing it, but I remember figuring it out.
It must be because when you press that same button now on Overwatch 2, it brings up like the new communication wheel when it's like I'm spotting this area or.
I like those. Those are really good things
that
they've brought in. That's a really good thing that they've brought in. I love being able to ping like where enemies are, because like so I play like if I'm playing a healer, I'm not necessarily going to be able to kill that sniper, but I can tell you guys where that sniper is. And just having like bits, especially having like full back. The only one that I will say is group up isn't on there. For backers, I need help.
Group up's
with
on the other
Right
one, though,
over
isn't
there.
it?
Group up's on the OG one.
Yeah, and I have that customized for like hello, thank you, you're welcome, rather than like actual gameplay things that I need. So the only thing that I would say is I really like that wheel, but the fact that group up is not on that wheel as a default, I would have had it on there. But I do like being able to say to my team, like, you guys are in too deep there, I'm the tank, back up, so we can, you know.
I like
even though
matching the
people still
countdown
ignore
on
it.
there with the countdown for the thing.
Yes, the best.
It's
the
very
best.
happy. I'm very happy when I do that.
Yep, the best when you get like Junker Queen counting down and telling you when to go.
So moving on from that, then, like, that was a very I think that was quite a good discussion. You changed my opinion on that matter quite a lot. I can see the like what they were thinking now, because before I was like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, what is the point of this? But I see it now. Thank you very much.
Face value, it doesn't make much sense, but I'm glad I could assist.
So let's move on to another change they made. The battle pass, this controversial battle pass.
Ooh.
So they removed the loot boxes in favor for a battle pass. So there's a free version and like the premium version.
Mm-hmm.
When I bought the Watchpoint pack, because I wanted guaranteed access to the beta, so I have the premium one. When my premium battle pass was locked for like the first few days, the free stuff on the battle pass was just like, there's nothing on there. There's nothing on there. Even now I've got the premium one.
Winston skin. Was Winston premium or was he free?
I feel
like there was one skin that's free, and I think it was that one.
Like, I would not have paid for a battle pass personally.
Okay.
Not this one.
I never paid for loot boxes. The only battle pass I've ever paid for, I paid for one in Destiny, but that was when I was like proper into it. Like, that was when I was like, that was the only thing I was playing. I think with Overwatch, the problem with the battle pass is everyone's got their mains.
Yeah.
And now on this battle pass, there has been one thing for May. I don't think there's anything for Symmetra.
Off the top of my head, no.
Like, there's a few other people that like Orisa. Like, I play a lot of Orisa. There's nothing for her.
There's a few bits for Cassidy, but nothing.
So
yeah,
I mean, there's some really nice. There is some really like Farah's. Is it like a Centurion skin?
Yes,
like
it's very Warhammer 40k.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
it's very Warhammer, which is
that's
quite
why
cool.
Rob wants that skin.
I want that skin. I don't even play Farah, but I'm like, I want that skin.
The social one's cool. She looks like Bangalore from Apex.
I've got that.
Out of 10.
She also looks like Rambo.
She looks yes. Yeah. Well, Bangalore. Bangalore has a similar
Rambalore.
Cool. Rambalore.
If I didn't have the Watchpoint pack and I came into this, that is not a battle pass.
I don't think I would have bought this first one.
I think, considering it equates to us for about £8, I probably would have brought it. But that's what I really love about the battle pass system, is that you can see the value for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done on Apex. Apex isn't my main game. Overwatch is my main game. So like, if I see like, have a look at the Apex Battle Pass, if I don't like either the theme of it, because they specifically do themes, which is something I hope to see in Overwatch, but we haven't really seen it at the minute. So hopefully, I would like if that. Yeah, I would have liked for there to be a consistent theme across the Battle Pass, with it linking to the legendary, the mythic skin at the end. But that's what I really like about it, is that you can pick and choose the value. So I really like the current Battle Pass because it's 3 decent skins for the brand new heroes. It's got a fair few cool voice lines. The Hanzo emote is top tier. You guys knew I was going to talk about Hanzo during this. It's such a good emote. Like, it feels like they've really stepped up in terms of their emotes, because the detail, like the animation quality, is gorgeous.
My Reaper really can now eat cookies.
Yes, that was on it. The cookie emote.
The one Reaper thing on there.
Yeah,
one thing it's cool. I was like proper grinding for on there was like the kitty cat's like looking down, like the kitty cats are like looking through the glass on you, like
that's a new cosmetic, isn't it? The player card. I really love the player
one
card.
thing I really wanted.
Everyone has the cherry blossom player card or the player icon.
No, I got to the green one.
Guilty.
Oh,
I got to like the one that was like
I saw you online the other day. I was like, oh, me too. I love that as a cosmetic.
I think it is obviously like it is a better way to go than the loot boxes.
Yeah.
So one thing I do miss about the loot boxes is like the excitement. You know, you get a loot
Not
box and
knowing.
you open it
Yeah.
and you're like, "Ooh, what's inside?" Like
I
miss
have
that
quite a
little
good
bit.
point about this.
They
So
could do both.
something that used to decide. So when I first started playing Overwatch very early on, like this was when I first started, getting a specific cool skin for a character would decide my main. So I got Anders Lucio, and at that point I'd played Diva, May, and Mercy pretty much consistently. And then I got this really cool Anders, which is his Christmas skin. It's just an epic. But I fell in love with this skin so much. And I was like, I want to now play this character because I've randomly got this skin for him from a loot box. And this is an experience that new players aren't going to actually be able to have. Like, they're not going to be able to randomly unlock skins and then feel an interest towards a character.
I'm pretty sure that happened with me with Winston.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think a fair few of us have like randomly got or seen a cool skin for a character, either unlocked it or got it for a loot box, and then been like, "Well, here's my new main," and then learnt a new character through that. So that's something that I'm kind of sad about. That, you know, new players aren't going to be able to experience that kind of fun of,
Surprised.
what character, like, what skin have I got now, or you know.
I'm surprised they got rid of loot boxes completely. I don't think that there's no reason why you can't have both.
Yeah,
because like
kind of,
Rocket League has both. Like
Apex has both.
I'm pretty sure Fortnite has both too. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat.
I don't know,
but I know Rocket League for sure has both. So there's no reason why they can't have them in. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a free to play game. The more ways they can make money, I'm sure they happily do it. So I don't see why they can't have both. I don't know.
Well, we have the shop now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
the
if I'm a fan
the new
of that shop.
currency.
Everything's too expensive.
Everything is so expensive.
There's nothing in there for anybody that I main. Like every time
think
I've looked in there, there's never been anyone that I play in there.
There's two things. There's one the social one that I want. The like
the
detective
cyber
thing.
I don't like it that much.
I really love it. There's the Ash, like Robin Hood style one.
Robin Hood Ash, yeah.
And I'm like, I want both of these. Why can't these be in the battle pass? The thing I have.
I think my current issue with Overwatch 2 is cosmetics. I like the battle pass system. I hope it's themed consistently in the future. However, I don't like the new currency system. You can earn 60 currency a week.
80. I think I worked out it's 80. Yeah, I worked out.
Oh, my bad. Well, it's
80,
a very
limited. It's still low.
That Charlie gave me the other day, like with his board out, because he was having like a rant about this, and he like went away and he worked it all out.
It's an extremely limited amount.
Yeah.
For what?
And that's doing every weekly,
cosmetics.
Right?
That's doing every single weekly.
Yeah.
Is this
which isn't easy
currency,
to do necessarily.
The currency that you can spend in the shop? Is this the currency that you can use to buy the battle pass?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. And I'm
that's
assuming,
annoying for me.
Yeah.
Is it a case of like if you complete this battle pass, you will have enough currency to?
Yeah.
No.
Because like
that's the other issue.
There's no currency on the battle pass. I noticed that the other day. I was like, "Where's?" They said that would be a thing, and it's not clearly.
That was one of the things I really liked about Apex is that at the end, if you completed it, or I think it was at least near completion, because the Apex battle pass is quite consistent. I think it goes up to 110, 120, whereas Overwatch is technically only goes up to 80, but I'll mention that in a second. So you used to be able to play it, earn a lot from the battle pass, then get coins to be able to buy the next battle pass. So it was really good of like, you buy the battle pass once, you have it for as long as you want it.
If you're a regular player,
then you also can choose when to unlock and not unlock. But yeah, the fact that you can only earn an extremely, extremely limited amount of currency, for me, takes it away, because I'm very good at not spending money on games, to be honest. Like, I buy a game, I have the game, I play the game to death. It's gonna very limit me on what I collect, and I'm only gonna collect characters for like skins for characters that I really, really want and really, really use.
But
so
then
it's
also
gonna take away from that for me.
Then really, as well though, that you got to put into perspective. So this battle pass right now. Say you really wanted that Farah skin rule 34. Say you really, really wanted that, but you didn't really care about anything on the battle pass.
Yeah.
You are then essentially paying like how much is the battle pass? Is it like
it equates to about £8.
Then you
have to buy
basically
more coins,
for a skin.
which is annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you got to weigh it up like that.
Yeah, I think for the value of the battle pass, I think £8 is really good. But then like I think the Ash skin bundle for an epic skin, a weapon charm, and I think maybe something else. It's
just
like
two things. It's just two things.
It's just
it's
two
annoying.
things, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and you can't buy it separately.
Yeah.
So I think that they really need to address being able to earn more currency, because I like to earn skins. Like, I would happily pay like half and earn half, or save and earn pretty much all of it. Like, that's how I always operated with Overwatch. That's what I'm gonna miss in the future. But it means for me, I'll probably just only buy the battle pass, and then that's my like consumerism that they're missing out on. Like, that's down to them. Like,
yeah, I feel like I'll only buy the battle pass in the future if there's like 2 or 3 things I want on there, maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way it looks for me now is it seems they're gonna put the best skins in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they already have.
I'll put
like,
one really good
that,
skin in the battle pass, like the Genji one.
The Mythic Genji,
Oh, yeah.
But
the Mythic
they'll
Genji.
put the rest of the good skins in the shop and rotate them around, which is annoying because they won't always be there.
Yeah. I just think that there needs to be a way to earn currency.
It's not like something, if you have no currency at the start of the game, which a lot of us don't because a lot of people didn't get the watch point pack, then by the time that Ash skin rotates out, they won't be able to afford that up to that point. Like, they'll have to wait for it to come back.
If it's 80 a week in a month, that's not even like
exactly.
Not even close.
You won't be able to buy that skin until it can rotate back.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's not a good amount. It's not a
enough.
good amount to be given. It's not enough.
Considering
like, I think an emote is like 200 or 250.
Yeah.
Can't even buy that after a month of playing. Like, that's not a good reward.
The challenges, I literally had a mind blank on what they were called. The challenges, I do like them.
I do.
I do think it has changed. It has changed my experience of the game because I go on and it's like play 3 matches, queued for all roles.
Yeah.
And I go on it and I'm forced to be a healer.
I never used to do that.
I never used to play healer before. And I've really, really started to enjoy playing Mercy and Moira.
Yeah. That's
I'm
good
the same
though.
with Baptiste. Yeah.
I love Baptiste.
So I like it. I think it is good. I think it does give you a little bit more structure to playing the game.
Yeah, I quite like it. Gives you something to do.
It does.
Yeah, it gives you something as well as playing the game.
The one it's not the season one, it's your lifetime one.
Yeah.
Where it's like win 20 games as the Junker Queen.
Yeah.
Now, I think that should be in the season one.
Yeah.
Because it's her, like, she's in the new season.
Yeah.
Like, there's like Sojourn, Junker Queen, and Kiriko. There's like very specific ones for them. It's like, I'm never going to play any of those people, so I'm never going to do those. I think the ones in a lifetime should be kind of.
I feel like in lifetime
generic-y sort of thing. Like
they should be huge.
Win so many games on this map.
Yeah.
As like
100 kills.
Hero.
I don't know. Maybe that's not even that much.
Yeah, like generic.
I think it should be staggered as well. So I think it should be like 25, 50, 75, 100 plus.
Everyone should be able
to make people work up, because that's how Apex does it. But yeah, I agree.
I don't think there should be hero specific challenges in the lifetime one. In the seasonal one, when it's their season, they get introduced in the game. Go off. That's absolutely fine. I don't think they should belong in the lifetime ones.
There's a hero section with nothing.
And they're blank. They're blank. Yeah.
So I think that's for the PvE.
Yeah, probably.
That sucks.
Probably.
And it's
there should
be
one
like
for PvP.
like PvE achievements. Well, the rest of the challenges are like can be used.
But like there could be having individual ones. I don't know. It would just help you get better at doing certain things.
That
with
would
certain
actually
characters.
encourage people to play the roster.
Yeah,
in a way that they're being rewarded for actually playing these heroes because they're getting their battle pass up.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I really like about Apex is that as you win games as characters, you can level up like a little character icon, which you put on your profile, to be able to say like, oh hey, like you can tell that I'm a really good Mirage player because I have this Mirage icon which says I've won. Like I think it goes up to quite a high amount. Like I like those they're like little token badges. I can't remember, but like you put them on your profile and like everyone sees them at the during the game and at the start of the game, and it's just like something to achieve and to work for. And I think Overwatch could do with something like that. So for individual characters and for individual maps, and that should be what the lifetime like achievements is.
Yeah, with this, so the seasonal model now. Yeah. So I think it's like every 9 weeks.
Yes.
Like we get like a new set of content. With the next set we're getting a new tank hero. one hero, and it's
Your
a
boy.
tank hero.
Another tank hero. Do we need another one? We need more healers. If
Hey,
anything.
I'm a tank main, and I'm very excited about this
I
possible
like tanks.
character.
But we need more healers.
Yeah, we do need more healers, especially now that we've got into the 5v5 game mode where there's only one tank. There's still 2 healers. We need we need more healers.
How do you guys feel about the removal of the 6-player?
I miss. I
like
had a
it.
really fun tank duo, and it was Sigma and Orisa, and those two all stack to make like a gravity mess. And that was a lot of fun, and I'm really gonna miss that. However, do I miss having a second tank that you have to kill? Like after you've spent ages killing either like the Reinhardt, the Roadhog, then you've got to go for another one? Not really. Not really. It makes the game a lot quicker pace.
Yeah, I'd like.
It's really changed the pace of the game. It's changed the whole objective of the game.
For us, it's not really a problem because
yeah,
we would never have a 6-man. Like 5 is the max people we would ever get online at one time. But I just feel bad for those people who had a 6-man team.
Yeah,
like that constantly played all the time.
It's
rough.
rough for people like that. But yeah, I know a lot of people who play Overwatch in small groups.
Yeah.
I do
man.
miss when me and Lex got on and we had our unstoppable combo of Zarya and Reinhardt though.
Yeah, the Zarya Reinhardt combo was.
I miss that, but like you get it in arcade. Arcade every now and then where you can have like more than one tank.
Yeah,
like,
see, I was really hoping that on release to kind of
6 men,
like not sate, but kind of. I was kind of hoping that they would have like a OG Overwatch, so like a 66
in the arcade.
In the arcade with like tanks toned down to what they used to be.
Yeah,
I was quite surprised that we didn't have that.
Can you imagine if they put 2 tanks in now? How long it would take to kill both of them?
Mate, I can't even kill Orisa.
It's so hard to kill Roadhog now.
Yeah, it
it's
always
so
was.
much health.
I think
before we move into that, like the aspect of the gameplay, like to finish us up.
Yeah.
With the seasonal model. Are we enjoying that? Do we think that was a good idea?
Yeah, I quite like it.
How long
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with it so far. I think I kind of want to make. I want to see how far I get and how difficult I find it to get to the endpoint / my endpoint before I kind of comment on how am I enjoying the seasons, because we're halfway through one season. Like I don't know what it's going to be like yet.
Are we
halfway? It's a good idea. Shit. I like the
not halfway. I think we've got like 40 days or something. We're not that far in. I'm just
I like the idea of consistent content because everyone who was still playing Overwatch 1 at the end knows like we got nothing for so long.
Consistency.
Like we got absolutely nothing. The one thing now, I think was it you, Chris, that told me they've kind of taken away some maps and they said they're maybe going to do like a map rotation with the seasons.
A lot of maps away with the 2 capture point ones.
Yeah, well those are all gone.
Yeah.
A big problem I feel like I'm having with this game.
There's a few gone though that we weren't there.
If this is part of it,
for some reason not wrong.
If map rotation is indeed part of the seasons, I'm at this point where now I'm feeling like Overwatch 2 gets very stale for me very quickly. I know people didn't like the 2-point captures. I know people were not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I go on Overwatch 2 now and it's like the same 3 maps. And it's like you're essentially pushing a payload to the end of the map, and it's payload, it's a robot.
Yeah.
What is a robot if not a payload? Like it's the same thing.
It's a similar concept.
And it gets very like I could wake up, go on Overwatch 1, play Overwatch 1 from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed.
Yeah.
And like I'd be like, this is great. Overwatch 2, I'm finding like I play a few matches and I'm like, I want to come off now.
And I don't. I'm the opposite.
I feel like you definitely get through the map rotation a lot quicker.
Yes.
Which is a shame because I feel like some of the new maps are good, but like I do find myself like playing the same maps over again. I'm like,
I always had that issue in Overwatch 1 though, and I think that's just something that's going to come with more maps being added.
Yeah.
But as we've said previously, like I haven't found myself having this problem because I flex and play all 3 roles. And I've been playing like a lot of different heroes because I think that's what Blizzard are trying to encourage, of like players playing lots of different characters. And as we've said before, having the achievements to do. Although I get through my dailies and weeklies really quickly, like I get through them too quickly. But that's me as I play every night for several hours. But because I think we have those challenges, we have those different roles, especially the challenges, I don't get bored of Overwatch 2.
I think for me, what it is, I think I wouldn't notice the maps as much if there was a variety in gameplay for me.
Okay.
In modes.
But I just feel like I know people didn't like 2-point capture.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the same time, every match now it's like push this payload to the end of the map.
Yeah.
Push this robot to the end of
the
the
only
map.
one that's different from the pushing the payload is to get 1 point. Like
yeah, like I think I don't know, that's something that I'm really noticing with Overwatch 2. Like you say, you go on, you play a few matches, you've done your weeklies, you've done your dailies, like boom, and then it's like
at that point you are like, what do you do now? Like,
that is the unfortunate issue of having like a checklist to do.
I'm hoping with the, like you say, with like the seasons will add more maps, but I hope this whole thing about map rotation is kind of
that is a thing. I think they said that in an interview.
I don't want that to be true.
They're going to have different rotations of maps for different seasons.
Okay,
I get to make a map more prominent so when like the story mode eventually drops, like to make a map more prominent because it features heavily in the story. That's fine. But I don't want it to be a case of where I'm like, I'm playing the same like 3-4 maps round and round in a circle, and then I'm going to move on to the next season and I'm going to play another set round and round in a circle. Like that's boring. I don't want that.
I have something quickly to add about this, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We were promised, well, I say promised, we were told that we were going to have different weather conditions and different daytime, different
the weather's, where's that?
The weather, and also we had it was like different day and night
cycles.
Not seeing that.
It's
That
in
would
the day
make
and
it really
night,
interesting me.
Yes,
but not
but
like
not to the extent they said.
Yeah, like I was really hoping it would be like now arriving at Lijiang Tower, night, heavy rainfall. Like I know that's
there's no weather in it
that's asking a fair bit, but that would add for it to me. Like, you know, like you've got these different experiences, you've got these different maps with different elements on it. Like it just makes it more interesting.
The robot, the push map, I want to say it's in Canada. I'm not 100% sure.
The snow one. Ish.
New Queen Street.
Yes.
Yep.
I just in my mind I was like, I'm sure it's Canada, but I can't remember what the map's called.
Yeah, it is.
Sojourn's map.
Yep. Now we went on it the other day, and someone was like, "Oh, there's snow on the ground."
Yeah.
So
is that it? Is that the weather, guys?
Like,
yeah, that's the weather. That's the weather.
I don't think it. I think it's like
falling snow.
Yeah, like I don't think they're going to give you like dynamic weather. Dynamic changes.
When your team gets to the first point, it suddenly starts sleeting.
See,
like where is that? Where is that interest?
This is the thing. They have an issue which they have to balance now. With that is that's okay to do in something like PvE. You do that in PvP, that might hinder gameplay.
Yeah,
that's the only thing, especially if you got rain coming down like that can hinder a lot of especially in comp.
I'm kind of speaking more atmospheric weather effects that make the game interesting, not hinders you because you can't see in front of you.
Might hinder regardless of how much rain it is. Rain might hinder because it's something on your screen that's distracting. Like fog would also be an issue. Like there's I
think it would make it cool and interesting though.
I agree, like put it in quick play. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Just not comp, because I feel like comp it could be an issue.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, moving on then to the actual gameplay, feel of the game. I always think this is hard to describe.
Yeah.
Like, after I played the beta, people were like, does it fit, like, but like, it's just the same game. And I'm like,
yeah.
It's really not.
It both manages to feel different and not different.
Like,
yeah.
It feels so good. But then when you're like trying to like stand there and tell someone, they're like,
yeah,
no, it's really hard to explain for people that haven't played it.
Yeah,
but the game feels so much better.
It does, yeah. The quality, I think, is what makes it for me. It's just like the quality is the next step up. And I think this is an issue I forgot to say about the maps, is that having the new maps, you can see the quality jump on the new maps in comparison
a lot
to
more
the old
cover.
maps.
I've noticed
A lot more cover, and just like texturally, so it looks so much better.
Yeah.
Like it just aesthetically and texturally, like all of that stuff, it looks so much better to me.
You do like the thing I was really excited about when they kind of did their big like video. But I think it's when they announced the Junker Queen and stuff, and they were like, "It's the video that we did the original podcast on."
I think that was Sojourn rather than Queen.
Maybe it was Sojourn.
I think we did one for both.
Yeah.
It was the huge video. It was the huge video where they put out like so much like content, and they were like, "We feel that removing the sixth man really gives the individual more power to change a game."
Yeah, it does.
I agree with that.
And I was like, I was very excited for that because I was like, because I played a majority of my hours on Overwatch were me solo queuing because nobody else cared, and I really did.
Yeah.
So I was playing on my own. I don't use like team chat mic, like I don't want to talk to strangers, all that kind of stuff. So this was like, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. If they can pull this off, this will be good.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like they have pulled it off.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It does, again, it does feel so different without not feeling different at the same time. And it's so hard to describe to people. Like, I think also just having a refresh of graphics and like having a new HUD and stuff, and having a new like not timetable, having a new scoreboard.
The scoreboard's so much
like
better.
it makes such a difference to me. Like, just obviously
I think as
after
well,
having played the last game for so long, having something new and fresh and interesting to look at.
What it helps is as well is like I've gone on to play some games, and I can tell like a lot of the people in my team with me are new players.
That's really
kind of like no, like, and that's not a criticism.
You can't
like,
tell.
yeah, but like, you can tell, but also if you're like the strongest link and the game allows you to be the strongest link, you can then help these new people and you can still win. Like, everyone's got to start somewhere. Like, I'm not saying you should not never put with new people. It's cute to see new people. I love seeing new people.
It's nice.
And they're like,
it's so
got, like,
nice to see new people.
Yeah, like, and you're like, oh, these people have just started playing again.
Unless they're shooting a wall, then it's frustrating, which I have had.
It's kind of, I both love and hate the scoreboard because the scoreboard makes me more critical of myself as a player.
Yeah.
But it also makes me feel like if I'm contributing less, I feel bad.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing as well, I feel bad. If I see a player on my team doing bad, obviously I don't use voice chat, I don't flame, I'm not toxic, but it frustrates you because like seeing like your Orisa going 110, it's like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's infuriating. So I see the scoreboard system as both a good and a bad thing, but it's nice that like players can have such a difference.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes it's a good difference, sometimes it's
I like assists. Assists are a good thing that I like that they've added.
My assists were broke. So I had some dailies and weeklies which were like get assists, and for a while like my assists weren't tallying. I haven't checked if they're working now, but like I would get assists during games and then they just wouldn't come up in the battle pass achievements to say I had
was it you who had issues with the challenges there with that Kate? Because wasn't it healing that you wasn't getting or something at some point? But you were playing healers.
Again, it's just little snagging things that like they need to kind of iron out. And
yeah,
will be
little issues.
Out, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully be sorted.
The only game I had one game, and it was on the new Queen Street map.
Yeah,
and I like this is the only game that's made me be like, this is the worst team I've ever played with in my entire life. And again, I feel like it was a case of I was probably the only
seasoned player.
Yeah. So like I'm playing Diva. I'm going to the bot. I'm killing all these people. I'm clearing the robot, and then like I'm getting murdered.
Yeah.
And my team, instead of pushing the bot, now I've cleared the way for them.
Yeah.
They're like up on the top of the bus fighting a Reaper, or they're like way out spawn fighting a Junkrat, and I'm like, I get everyone's like new players are gonna make mistakes. I understand that.
Yeah.
But when the point of the game is to push the robot,
And
clues in the
teamwork.
name,
and
they're not
teamwork
pushing
based,
the
which is the
robot,
problem.
I'm like, what are you all
It's
doing?
so infuriating. It's
Like,
so infuriating.
Again,
yeah.
like, I would never, like, I don't talk in the team chat.
No.
I don't, like, I would never message someone and be like,
No.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it is like, you're there and you're just like,
You
these
are sat
people
there like,
new. It's not
what
their
are you
fault.
doing?
It's not
On
their
the
fault.
other
They're new,
side
they're
of that,
learning.
I do feel bad when you absolutely steamroll a team because you can tell they're all new.
Yes.
And I feel
Yeah.
bad, and they're
We've
like, you've
done
got them
that
at spawn,
Quite
and
a
you're
few
like,
times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
been
feel bad
steamrolled
for
a couple
killing you all the
times.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does
I
make you
think-
feel bad, but at the same time,
I gotta learn.
they have
Yeah.
got to learn. They've got to learn
Unfortunately,
to
like
counter.
yeah, unfortunately, like team, like it's such a heavy team-based game.
Yeah.
And like, I think sometimes you've just got to, like, you guys on console have the benefit that you can't like chat.
You don't have,
I think
well,
like you can't type in chat.
we
Like
can.
not easily anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can,
it's
but not,
not
easily.
like- yeah,
not
yeah,
as
yeah.
easily as on PC. On PC, it's like you press the enter key and off you go.
Yeah.
So like that is, unfortunately, it can be bad.
Mm.
And like it's another way to communicate with your team, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. So I had a game the other day where this Farah was like, why aren't you healing me, why aren't you healing me, why aren't you rezzing me? And I was like, you rezzed in the line of a widow fighter and also in front of their whole team. And like I was playing Mercy and she was like, oh yeah, sorry. Like I just think because it's such a team-based game, like sometimes people don't think. Even like old Overwatch 1 players who are now playing Overwatch 2, we don't think all the time. We do stupid things. We go in when we shouldn't. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's how it is. It's always how it is.
That's
in a team
my
game.
biggest problem. That for as an individual player, me,
Yeah,
my biggest problem is I chase a kill.
yeah,
And that's something I've really tried to work on, but sometimes I still find myself doing it. I'm like, I should
Yeah.
have just let them go. I should have stayed with my team. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's perfect. Like,
no. We all have our
Everyone-
flaws,
yeah.
especially on Overwatch.
But, like,
yeah,
it is really cute when you see all these new people. You go in there,
It's
they're all, like,
lovely.
waving to you in the spawn,
Yeah.
and they're all emoting at you, and you're like,
yeah.
these are sweet summer children that don't hate everyone yet. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. They're so
My-
cute.
my-
It's
my-
so yeah.
My biggest flaw is not retreating when I'm like the only one left against 5 people.
Oh, I would be spamming that fullback. I would be spamming that fullback.
I need to start
straight
doing
away.
that more.
I also quite like you can't do specific spams when you're dead.
Oh,
So if
Yeah, 'cause
you're
it
dead,
says, like,
if
you're
you're dead,
waiting
it's
to
only
respawn.
wait to respawn, which
Oh.
is both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it stops people spamming. Like, oh my god, I played a game of Apex yesterday. The second that these people were knocked, every single spam right in my face, right in my ear. It was like, stop. So I see it like it's both a good thing and a bad thing. But if you die to someone and you want to tell your team like something, you can't really do that. You just say I'm respawning. So both a good and a bad thing there.
So, in terms of the individual heroes,
Mhm.
sorry, Chris, did you want to add something there?
I was just gonna say, has anyone played cross-play with other people yet? Like
Not yet.
PC and
Not yet.
console? Because there's one thing that annoys the hell out of me when I play with
Uh-oh.
PC people. When console people play with PC people, for some reason they turn off the aim assist for console.
Okay, yeah. It's
Which makes
difficult.
no sense to me.
It's difficult because I've only recently played with a controller again.
Mm.
God help you, you guys need that aim assist.
You do. And
Controllers-
it's
controllers
even
are
worse when
horrendous
I have aim
to
assist
play with.
playing
I'm gonna
console
be rude about
with
it. Yeah.
with people, and then when I go and play with like PC people, it just literally it feels so weird and so off. It's so
Yeah.
different without it. So it's like, but there's no reason why especially you can't play comp anyway with PC people and console
Yeah.
people. So there's no reason why they can't keep the aim assist on. And if anything, the aim assist thing is going to make it more fair because I'm already at a disadvantage playing on a controller with
Yeah.
people who can just click on my head with a mouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like why they took it off. I know a lot of people are moaning as well that that's a thing. Like
Yeah, it's
the
kind of
community
not something-
is not happy about this because they're like
Yeah.
they said, oh, crossplay, you can play with anyone you like, but it's not fun
Yeah.
necessarily when I'm
I
getting
think-
wrecked.
I've seen the community very much drawn with PC players being like, no, it's fine, leave it off, and console players being like, please.
Yeah,
turn
of
it
course
back on.
PC players are going to say it's fine. They're
yeah,
winning.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I don't really know what difference it makes, so I can't comment on it.
I definitely feel like it will make it more balanced having the aim assist
I
on.
didn't notice.
console
Like, when we
players.
played with our PC people, I can't really say I've noticed.
I only noticed when I tried playing Ash, and
Yeah.
I can't hit shots. And then all of a sudden I'm playing with console people and I'm hitting headshots right, left, right, and center, and I'm
I
like,
think seeing,
what?
yeah, seeing how it's based on, I would say it's based on the movement. So I can move my character really, really easily, whereas on controller it's very difficult to move around and shoot and aim at the same time. So I kind of think it might be needed there.
On PC, you get a lot of people just jumping a lot.
Yeah.
Not
like,
as easy to do on a controller.
We move so much more frantically.
Yeah. What said that to me the other day? It was like, why are you always jumping around? I'm like, because then it's harder for them to hit me.
It's hard to do that while you're shooting, but on PC you can.
It's so easy.
See, that's why I have every character I main. I have like completely customized controls.
Yeah.
Same.
So that's why I could never like pick up someone else's Overwatch and play a game and be good, because I'd be like, what is this? Like I couldn't do it. You have to. I think on a console, it's all about customizing your controls to how you feel like it's the easiest way to do it for your character.
You can even customize the level of aim assist, but when it's, I feel like the aim assist on console is better in Overwatch 2 than 1, because I found myself hitting more headshots on 2 than I did in 1. Which is a good thing when I'm playing with console people. But like to have it completely off after it's gotten so much better and I'm so used to what it's doing, it wrecks me. And I'm like, whenever I play on PC now, I just play people I don't need to aim with.
Yeah, they need to address it. And
I'm Winston now. This is my PC character. I'm Junkrat, PC character. Like I can't play as the people I normally play as, like Ash.
Yeah.
In terms of like our individual characters and like our mains of people we like to play as, how the roster's so big, like we're not going to talk about every character. We don't all have experience with every single character, but for the characters you play a lot, how are you finding their changes? Like even if they had any changes at all, like how are you finding this? Or is there any, even for the people you don't play, but like the changes to a character that you think has improved the game? You're like, that change is chef's kiss. Like something they've removed or added, and you think, oh, that's a really good. You know,
none of my characters have really been changed massively that I play regularly.
Really? Okay.
So, yeah, because most of the tanks haven't changed. I think the only change that I can think of that would affect me is I sometimes play Reinhardt and he now has 2 fire strikes. That is pretty much it.
In terms of tank, Orissa's.
See, I haven't actually played the new Orissa.
The new Orissa is a beast. She's my sweet, sweet baby in Overwatch 2. In Overwatch 1, in Overwatch 2, she's just a killing machine. She's a beast.
She's
when
nuts.
they
she's
said
so hard to kill.
We're gonna get rid of Orissa's shield, I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Played the beta, I got my hands on the spear, and I was like,
this is why you did that.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's so
insane.
good.
She's so tanky.
Yeah, like I feel like I've got more of a chance of. I've got more survivability. Like if the rest of the team die and it's literally just me there.
Yeah.
Where I was like hiding behind my like shield, like fortifying, and then when all that ran out, they would just mow me down.
Yeah,
I feel like I've got a better chance of staying alive. She's a lot stronger. She's got more stick. Like, you know what I mean? I really like that.
I played some games where the first minute and a half is just the 2 tanks trying to kill each other, and it's not great. I'm going to be honest, it's not great. And I think because of that, we need a new support hero or any hero with a anti-heal really badly, I think.
Okay.
Isn't anti-heal just damage?
And no, anti-heal.
You know, like how
we need anti-heal.
Anna can shoot with that thing.
Yeah,
and
the grenade. Junker Queen now has
to stop
like
people from
something
healing.
which does it, but I think we need more of that based on how insanely tanky
the Junker Queen. I feel like I can get her down to really low health, and then she does that like rally thing.
Yeah, and she's back up, and she's back up. Yeah.
I don't
not
like
just
that.
her. Everyone around is also back up.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why I'm saying we need more characters with anti-heal.
Yeah.
Because I think it then needs to be the only anti-heal at the minute is Junker Queen and Anna. And it's making Anna, and Anna was the same in Overwatch 1, where she was pretty much an essential pick for that anti-heal. So I think we need more characters with anti-heal to be able to stop enabling tanks from just living for the for the first 2 minutes of the game. Like, it was fun because I was Junker Queen, they were Orisa, and we would just kept swinging at each other, and that was like, it was just repetitive. It just felt like we were going nowhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's like one of the only issues I've had with Overwatch 2 in terms of its frustrating gameplay. Like, I've had some games where we've just been completely rolled, and I didn't exactly hate them. Like, whereas like I mean, in the past, like I played for like a fair few hours each night. There were in the past where we would rage quit early and just be like, we can't keep doing this. Whereas I've not had that yet with Overwatch 2. Like, even if I'm rolled, I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, next game. I didn't hate it.
The only game we have been steamrolled to the point where it was like, we literally, like, there was nothing we could do was when we had that Torbjorn in,
then that's why it's broken.
It's Lucio's map, you know, like Lucio's hometown.
It's the Parisio.
We literally, we couldn't do anything. Like, this Torbjorn, we would be like getting rid of his turret. If we put it back up, we literally couldn't do anything. And then like the next day, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get rid of Torbjorn because he's broken," and we're like, "Oh, yeah, that's what it was."
Yeah, it makes sense.
In terms of characters I play, like May, they've got rid of her freeze, which I thought would have a bigger impact on my game.
You were happy about that, were you?
I wasn't. No, I didn't like it, but really, like, I tend to use the icicle shot a lot more than the freeze.
I always found that myself as well. And I've played a bit of May and I've been leaning back into their icicle shot.
I like to use the icicle shot. It's a lot more powerful. Like, I can snipe really well with it. Like, I'm sniping winners off balconies. I'm sniping flowers out the sky. I prefer the icicle shot. But it's just, it's like the freeze I would mainly use, like, say, like a Roadhog's like on me. And that freeze just gives me a moment to like, So I don't. It hasn't had the impact that I thought it would have on my game. At all, really. Symmetra is pretty much. I don't like.
Symmetra's weak now.
The teleporter. Yeah, but I'm a beast when I play Symmetra.
You're fine. But like most people are complaining she's weaker.
She is weak.
Fine. I haven't seen her played as much, and I haven't seen her be as annoying. But I haven't seen her be as annoying in the past few years of Overwatch.
I'll tell you one change I like about Symmetra is that now the fucking teleporters have like a directional stream going into them, so you know which one's going where. The amount of times I used to go backwards through the teleporter because I thought it was a thing.
The animation quality is gorgeous, though.
That's the one thing that's changed that I like.
The turrets and her teleporter are now beautiful. Like,
I don't like the teleporter dies after like 10 seconds. I don't like that.
It makes sense though, because that used to be
it's only an ability.
I kind of get it, but at the same time, it is annoying. But if anything, Symmetra is the character that I have got the most play of the games with. Overwatch 2.
Fair enough.
Like,
I've had a few as Diva. Can't say I've had many.
To be fair, when we've been playing, I've had a fair few play of the games. Like, I don't know what's going on. I get it. Probably just a case of like everyone's new. Because someone's like, you've got play of the game, and then it's literally me like killing like 2 people, and then when it's like Monday where I'm like, oh. So it probably is just a case of like. Like other people I'm playing with is new, but Symmetra seems to be the character where like I play a game in Symmetra, I'm getting play of the game. I feel like she is a lot weaker. Like if they take out your turrets and they're like right in front of you, I never felt like she had much like sustainability on her own anyway. But even less so in Overwatch 2.
I have play of the game criticism.
I like her. Go for it.
I'm not too keen on the music. This is a really odd one, but
I didn't get to talk about my characters.
Huh?
I didn't get to talk about my characters.
Sorry, you go first then.
I won't be long anyway because most of them haven't changed. Reaper is exactly the same. He was weaker in the beta and I was worried, but now he seems fine. Although, he's alright. He's fine. I don't play him as much now because I find myself winning more games as Ashe, and I think the biggest thing about that is the aim assist is better, so I'm getting more headshots. So I think that's just literally
Chris is like, I'm not really good at this game, but the aim assist.
No, but like, I don't know what they've changed. I don't know what they've done. They've changed something specifically about the aim assist that just makes me better. I don't know why. I don't know what they've done.
Don't complain.
I'm not complaining. I'm complaining
Enjoy
about them turning it off.
It will. You can expect it to go in the next 3 to 5 business days.
Winston, I think it's not really a change to him that's made the biggest difference. I think it's the fact that there's one less tank. That most of the other team are squishes at that point, so it's a lot easier for Winston. He's not getting like wrecked by both tanks ganging up on him. So that's
probably why I'm doing so well as Symmetra, because there's one less big character
taking all your turrets.
It takes my turrets like 10 years to kill, and it's just on the squishies so much.
It's
I agree
again,
with
and
that.
that's completely changed the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Made
It's,
it so much
it's
better.
made, like, Winston was always a hard pick in Overwatch 1
Yeah.
because, like, of that reason, like, the tanks were just mowing down. But even if you come against one tank, you could just jump out of the way and get another squishy. Like, it's he's a lot easier to play now, and it makes him actually more viable.
Yeah.
Zarya, I used to play a lot less now, but she has more bubbles,
She
which
cannot
is
be killed.
I feel like I need to play her
a
more because I keep getting wrecked by Zarya's, but I never actually, because my go-to tank
She's
now
quite
is
okay.
Winston. But I should try. I'm going to try playing more Zarya, but I do like the fact she has more bubbles.
Yeah,
She's a lot more.
It's a lot to deal with.
It's a lot more about managing your bubbles.
Yes.
Now, which
but
I like.
that. It's always kind of been like that with Zarya, but I think
but even more so now.
I think they need to tone it down a little bit.
Mm.
Because there's times where she's just completely unkillable because of how many bubbles she's got.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the only a change which has affected another character that I named, and I promised my friend I'd say about this. Lucio now has a reduced boop on tanks.
Oh.
I never even noticed that.
Lucio's whole thing is booping.
It makes sense.
And now it does make
physically,
sense
because they are heavier.
It physically and aesthetically makes sense, but it makes life for a Lucio main and a Lucio player significantly less fun because now you have to really you can't get those long range boops anymore. You can't get those big boops anymore. It's a lot harder to get them.
Well, to be fair though, you can get them on 4 out of the 5 players.
You can, but it still takes away. Like there were a lot of times during Overwatch 1 where like getting a environmental boop on a tank would completely change the game.
Yeah.
And it's so much harder to do it now.
Because they're the linchpin of the whole team.
It takes away like a whole principle of Lucio, I would say. Like I'd say his whole thing is the boop. And like to take that
especially
away
on some
kind
maps.
of replace it with anything or kind of like take
Ilios.
it away and yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it kind of takes away from his character a bit. Also, I have to mention this as well. He doesn't have any new specific voice lines on his own hometown map. Don't like that. Give Lucio more content and voice lines. It's his map. He doesn't say anything about it.
I think they're saying that for the story, you know.
More vocal.
I thought they were toned down from the beta. Like the beta, everyone was chatting. Now they're not.
Yeah, like
I agree with
before
that,
in Overwatch 1, it was like you were lucky if you heard like one interaction in the spawn room before you left, and now I feel like
here at least
they
2.
They don't shut up.
Yeah, some characters are super chatty, some characters are not, and I really like that.
You might know what the end of this story is, but the other day I was in a spawn room and it was like Ash and Sombra, and they had like a little conversation. And I'm there like listening to this conversation, and they had a little conversation, and then they finished that conversation, and then Sombra was like, "Got any stories about the cowboy?" And I was like, "There,
I love that one."
Oh, and then the door opened, and they walked.
I didn't like that cut off. They should carry it on as you're walking through the thing.
No, I want to know.
Yeah, like I think some of the new voice interactions are really cool, but I really like that some characters are a lot more chatty, and like I like how it feels like Overwatch, like the team, I follow them on Twitter, they've said that people are going to be discovering new voice lines and new interactions for a long time, and I love that.
I've discovered a lot of new jokes that other characters say.
There's some like some characters just don't chat, so there's a really cool rare voice line between Doomfist and Hanzo. I've not heard it in game. I've seen it posted once on Twitter. Hanzo Twitter is like we're always up there, always posting everything that we find. But this voice line has been posted once, and it's rare, and it makes sense for Doomfist to not talk a lot. Like I don't think he's got a high pick rate anyway, but for him not to talk a lot,
she hasn't.
To have like these rarer voice lines, it makes a lot of sense, and I really like that.
Speaking of Hanzo, I'm good at Hanzo now, so you know the aim assist is good.
What jokes have you heard?
So the Baptiste joke I heard, it was like, I think it was with May, and he was like, knock knock, and she was like, who's there? And he's like, Atch. And this is like, at you. And he's like, I think you got a cold. Or something like that. And I was like, oh my god. Baptiste, I played a lot more Baptiste. He's so wholesome. I love him.
The characterizations have been improved so much. So Junkrat is now funny and very witty. Whereas before he was kind of just like, kind
annoying.
of crazy, kind of stupid, kind of annoying. And now, like, it took me out. We were playing, he was like, oh, I'm going to write that one in my diary. And it just made me laugh so much. Like, he's so much more witty. He's so much more characterized in such a fun way. And I find that with a lot of the characters, actually. Like, we're having hints of, like, more character development, like, especially for Hanzo. Hanzo stands have been given so much, and I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, the characterizations have just improved so much. It's great.
Like, so much more like sassy. Like, you get kills, and she just says, "I'm trying to think what she said," but I was like, "Wow, I can't believe she just said that."
She apologizes as well if she kills certain characters.
Like,
she killed a Tracer in my game, and she was like, "Oh, sorry, Tracer." I was like, "Oh."
Like, I killed someone, and she said something, and I was like, "Wow!" Like, I think I froze a Widow.
It's always Widow.
I can't remember what she said, and I was like, "Whoa, that was a bit dark."
Yeah,
like, I think they've got a little bit more. She's got a little bit more. She's mad.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Kiriko is pretty bad. Like, whenever I kill a Widow, she's like, "I thought you were the sniper," or something like that. And I was like, "You little savage bitch, I love it."
She's quite sassy. She's quite sassy. Ash has new voice lines if Bob kills certain characters, which I think is quite cool. So like she will actually she actively talks to Bob now. So I did a Bob. I play a little bit of Ash. I did a Bob, got no kills, and she actually was not happy about that, and she let Bob go.
Yeah,
I think it was something like that, but I was like,
Girl. I know this because I hear it a lot. That's my secret shop.
No, it's like it happened the other day. Like, I think an Anna or someone. She was hacked. I think he was hacked. Bob by Sombra, and he just goes like this. And then I'm like, and he didn't get any kills, and then all you hear is Ash going, "Damn it, Bob!"
Yeah, it's really cool how she kind of talks to him now, and like there's a little bit more of interaction with him, and yeah, it's nice, it's cool, I like it.
Just like everybody wants lore, like that's what everyone signed up for with Overwatch 2.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they've got no excuse because they've had all this roster of these characters, and they've been drip feeding us for so long.
Yeah,
they must have it all written down somewhere, like ready to give to us.
I hope so.
So
I like to imagine the developers coming up with all these lines. It's like Charlie Day with the board and all the lines.
Yeah. They've said it's quite like they have a team of writers, and they all kind of like write things and then play off each other. Yeah. You can tell like the voice lines that they've really enjoyed doing and putting work into and thought through.
With the going back to like the gameplay and stuff, the two things I absolutely despise in Overwatch 1 that would make my blood boil.
Is it going to be the diva?
Is it Shield Watch?
No, it's when McCree like flashbangs you can't like you get stunned, you can't move. I hated that.
Yeah,
and
same with freezing.
Reinhardt's. I just got fully called out then.
No, it's true. As a Reaper main, that is 100% was 100% true.
It's true, and I had to take it. When you were saying it.
That's okay.
It feels like
you were right to call me out, but the other one is when Ryan like pins you, and he can be on the other side of the map, and he can pin you, and it's like, no, how far he travels. I always thought like the further he has to travel to pin you, the less damage you should take.
Yeah, the less damage it should do. I mean, so, logically, it makes sense because if you were like slammed into a wall by a 9-foot
exactly.
armor, like it's probably going to kill you. But also, it's annoying gameplay wise.
But like the McCree one, like you get stuck, but like nothing happens. Like it comes up saying you're stuck.
Oh yeah, that annoys me. It's not clear enough that you're stuck, in my opinion. And I always
I don't feel like anything happens to me when I get that notification.
Damn, okay, I'm the opposite. It does like half health, and I definitely feel it.
It kills me most of the time, but it's like I feel like the delay on it going off, like I don't feel it's clear enough half the time that I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be a bigger, "You're stuck." I'm going to come up on your whole screen saying you're stuck.
I was going to say, it's enough time for you to run into your teammates and hit them as well.
Yeah. And if you don't know it's on you, which it's me half the time because it's so fast happening, I'm just like, oh shit, I just blew up half my team.
But no, I think a lot of the, like you said, like a lot of the annoying things that you're like, that's not fair. A character shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's game breaking. A lot of those have been removed.
Yeah. I'm glad Shield Watch is no longer a thing.
Yeah. Oh Christ. Yeah, I've had problems with characters that I used to have problems with, but I've not had a problem with I'm shooting at a shield and doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Thank God.
Like overall, the game it's so much faster.
Yeah. It feels a lot more organic and healthy.
It just feels better to play. Like the gameplay just feels so much better. Yeah. And it's hard to explain. Like someone who doesn't play or like they haven't played the second one and they're asking you all these questions and you're trying to explain it to them and without them actually physically putting the controller in their hand and playing it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to put across. but it feels so much better.
Yeah,
I think
it does.
There could have been a bit more content at launch.
Yeah,
like
for
maybe
sure.
we could have.
I was fine with it.
We could have done with a little bit of story, like a tiny bit of story to bring us in.
I get what they have an excuse for that though, because it's early access. Remember?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. When they announced
okay.
it, it's early until 2023. It's early access. So.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
Okay,
yeah, but
well,
it doesn't seem like they pushed that when they put the trailer out saying it was early access. But then they haven't really pushed it since launch. So I don't know whether they changed that. But as far as I know, it's early access still.
Well, we must be getting the Halloween event
soon.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Like we're on like what is it today?
It's late October. I think it's 24, 20 something.
And the roster's changed.
Quite late.
It's a girl boss event now. We know.
Girl boss, yes. All the girl
bosses. Players. So
I'm excited.
I'm assuming, like, I'm hoping there's going to be some more like lore drop with. I know it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think from the comic, the idea is it's like Reinhardt telling a story, isn't it?
Yeah. So
in the little comic, he sits everyone down and he's telling them this tale of like Dr. Junkenstein. So I know, like, the story content we get for that, it's not in world, like it's not going to tell
like
us.
An AU.
Yeah. It's like it's Reinhardt's fan fiction of Dr.
But it's based on like the characters who already exist.
Yeah. So like I know it's not like lore that we can take to the bank. Oh yeah, like this happened, but it would just be nice just to have a tiny bit of lore and like a cutscene and
there's some really cool bits of character interaction in the original Junkenstein. So there's a lot of Hanzo and Cassidy voice lines that they have together.
My favorite event.
Yes, and that we're getting that, and we're having it with the 4 girl bosses. So it's the 3 new characters and Ash, and their first is the Bride of Junkenstein.
I'm glad Ash is in it.
I'm glad Ash is in it because I just love Ash.
It's those 4 versus Sombra,
basically. It's the newest 4 heroes, female 4 heroes with versus Sombra. But that makes me. Oh no, never mind. Ignore that. Yeah. It's interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. Girl boss event, girl boss Halloween. Love Halloween. Very excited to see where that goes.
I'm interested in the new tank hero. Like, we're gonna get the new tank hero.
I think it's gonna be
around
Malga.
Christmas time.
A lot of people think it's gonna be Malga. We've had it teased that it's a character that we've already seen, and Malga is the massive guy who appears in Baptiste's short story. And what we know about him is that he was Baptiste's friend in Talon. He is a Talon heavy, so the heavy units that we fight during the PvE, he's one of those, but modified. It was heavily implied that Sigma was going to be Malga before they decided that his kit didn't suit Malga. So I'm really hoping we see something like a massive Malga guy with lots of lore connections to Baptiste and the other Talon characters, with 2 massive guns. Because
this one's wearing shoes.
He will be wearing shoes.
Thank God.
Why does Sigma not have shoes?
I don't know. It disturbs me every time I see his feet.
Ooh.
I don't like it.
Not Sigma main then.
Everything we talked about. Does anyone want to add anything on to the end before we close up? Has anyone got anything else they'd like to bring up?
I'm super happy. The life that it's brought back into the Overwatch community. To see you guys again being interested in Overwatch, to see all of my friends being interested in Overwatch, to see cosplayers and content and even like crappy internet content of people saying like, like, oh, look at this Overwatch 2 thing. And like, it's like something that everyone knows. To see content being made again, to see cosplayers being enthusiastic again, to see people being excited about Overwatch again, just rewards me. It makes me feel like the waiting was worth it. It makes me feel whole again. And I know I shouldn't rely on it so much, but it genuinely just makes me emotional. It makes me emotional to see Overwatch getting love again, to see people loving Overwatch again. It really does.
Yeah, I love it. That is the game that like every other kind of shooter I fell off of, and I've never fell off Overwatch. Like there might be a time where I'm playing like a single player game and I don't play it for like 2 weeks, and then the minute I finish a single player game, I'm back on Overwatch. I was playing Overwatch 1 like right up until the end. So it
makes me emotional because obviously pretty much all of my connections are through Overwatch. All of my cosplay.
Yeah, we made a lot of friends.
Everything.
Overwatch, to be fair.
Yeah, like you guys.
Yeah, we all wouldn't be where we are now with the people that we are.
I genuinely wouldn't
without Overwatch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the person.
Overwatch literally gave
maybe I'd be a better person.
Circle of... I am the worst version of myself when I'm playing Overwatch. When I'm in comp, I am the absolute worst version of Kate that could exist.
Maybe we would be better people, but then we also wouldn't have all of these connections. I wouldn't have this story. I wouldn't have my friends. I wouldn't have essentially my Overwatch family. I wouldn't be the person I am without Overwatch. I wouldn't be the cosplayer I wouldn't be anything. As it's dramatic to say, but it's true for me.
No, it is true.
Damn.
Like if we hadn't have
Overwatch was my first cosplay.
If we hadn't have done that cosplay, and we hadn't have gone to that meet, we wouldn't know any of the people that we know now.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's crazy to
it's
think
all
that.
thanks to Overwatch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that, like, you know, and it's just so lovely to see people coming back to it. Content creation again, new fan art, especially because I'm on that side. New fan art, new content, new videos, new cosplay, new bits. It really just invigorates me, and it makes me so happy. Really.
I literally, like, yesterday I was like looking on the internet, like, they got any like Overwatch 2 cosplayers like on eBay yet? Anything like that? Like,
hit me up. Hit me up.
So, last question I wanted to ask you. So, bringing us full circle from the start. Now, obviously, from the time they announced it, whatever your opinion was, do you think we needed it? Should it have just been Overwatch like 1.5, blah, blah, blah? Now you've played the game, you've had some hands-on with it. I know, obviously, we haven't had the story.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the move from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2? I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. There was a lot of problems with it. But in terms of just, like, forget all that, like, the game, do you think it deserved to be an Overwatch 2? Do you think it should have been 1.5? Do you think it was needed? How do you feel about it now you've actually played it?
I'm going to go first because I feel like mine's going to be slightly more negative than the rest of you. No, it's not. I really enjoy it. I still think it's a great game. I think Overwatch 2 is a near perfect multiplayer game for me. Overwatch 1 was also, but for me it still feels, at the moment at least, like Overwatch 1.5.
Okay.
I think with the story and that, eventually it will become more, in my eyes, more worthy of that too.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a big... Yes, the game's changed in terms of, like, they've got rid of the one tank. They've changed a lot of gameplay, small gameplay things. The game's still the same, and I wouldn't want it to be too different, but, like...
No.
Because, like I say, it's one of those that I think it's like a 10 out of 10 multiplayer shooter, just generally. But, like, I don't think enough content has been added for it to be worthy of being a sequel. A true sequel, at least.
Yeah.
When the content's added, and I think they've got the caveat of it being early access, once that content's added, I might feel differently. But as it stands right now, no. But, like, I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I still love it, but I just don't think it's worthy of being a true sequel.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. I feel similarly in the sense that, to me, I still think of it just as Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I still see it as just Overwatch as the whole world of Overwatch. Whereas, like, you know, a sequel to another game would definitely be differentiable. But I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I'm really loving it. It's brought back my joy for Overwatch. It's brought back my excitement for Overwatch. It's brought back my excitement for Overwatch content. As I've mentioned previously, that's a big thing for me. And I really appreciate everything that it's done for the online community, for the fandom, etc., etc. So I'm really enjoying it, regardless of whether it's Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2. The fact that it's breathed life back into those aspects for me is what really matters. I'm still holding out for the story modes and for the PvE. That's what I need for it to be complete. I need those regularly, and I need those good.
I think also going free to play helps it a lot, because I know a good few people I know that excuse me, that that fell off Overwatch 1 or didn't play Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
Who are now playing. Like, I'm sure you won't mind me, like, calling him out. Rob fell off Overwatch 1. And now he's playing a lot now.
Yeah.
So
and he's bringing back Bastion.
Yeah.
When the Xbox lets him play.
Yeah.
See, Rory,
I've got a little, as well. Yeah.
I got a little, like, in between your guys' opinions. So I honestly think they felt like they needed to put a 2 on it, because the changes were so severe in the terms of they would have been like, okay, we're going to completely overhaul Overwatch. We're going to get rid of your 6-man on your team. We're taking out the loot boxes, we're putting the battle pass in. Everyone would be like, but that's not the game we paid for. Like, we didn't pay for that. We didn't pay for you to take away that hero's ability or my 6th player. So I feel like they felt like if they didn't make it the sequel, it would have a lot more negative reaction. So by putting a 2 on the box, like, it was just a way for them to say, okay, like, this is how we do fresh this start. Now.
Yeah. It did feel like a fresh start for me.
Yeah,
it did.
Like, and like, I think if say like they didn't remove the 6-man and they just kind of cleaned the gameplay up a bit, they probably could have just like. I think if that was out of it, what would have made it a 2 was the fact that they were going to add story into it.
Yeah, it almost feels like they needed that re-release to push it back to the.
I just think if they were going to turn around and tell people the game that you paid for, we are going to completely change it at its core, everyone would have been like, but that's not the game I paid for.
Yeah. And I know a fair few people who are upset that I know a fair few people who used to cosplay Overwatch or I met through Overwatch who are upset because Overwatch 1 servers are no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is...
That was a sad time.
I get it.
That last day on Overwatch 1.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't sad. I was ready to move on, I'm going to be honest.
It was a moment.
It was a moment, and it was crazy, like, all the content that... Like, I think it was sad for me, but it wasn't sad because I knew that we were moving on. It wasn't going away. Yeah, we were moving on to something new and better, which we had experienced in the betas. So I wasn't upset necessarily that... It was sad because, you know, everyone was kind of making it sad almost, but, you know, that's my
I was sad. I remember, like, I was telling Rob, I was like, I know, like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and Overwatch 2 is going to be there. I was like, but for some reason, I'm just so sad that they're shutting down Overwatch. Like, I don't know. Like,
didn't we have a few hours to go outside and touch grass? Touch grass and get bitches. I failed at both.
But yeah, like, I think it has changed for the better, in my opinion, in terms of the gameplay. I'm still not really, like, I get why they got rid of the 6-man, but I think it's
sad it's never gonna.
For people who played in a 6 stack, that's really sad that they have to get rid of someone. But for us, it's not a problem.
No,
esports teams for sure. Yeah, like
esports teams.
Wow,
they've sacked someone.
Someone's not making the cut. But yeah, like I think overall it is for the best. And I know it had a very, very rocky launch, but it can only get better. And I think when they drop the story is the thing that I'm most interested in.
I'm hoping that's going to excel. Because we haven't really seen anything. So Junkenstein's is meant to be dropping in like a week or 2, I think it is, and we haven't seen anything about it. But if it's anything like some of the PvE content that we saw getting made and stuff like that, like some of the missions, if it's anything like that, it's going to be a step up. Like I'm hyped for it.
I hope so.
I have a feeling that one won't be
as
much of a step up, as too different from previous ones, just because the main campaign will be where they'll put that.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that, but I also think like I think the contents of the first battle pass are very telling. So we have like a Mercy skin, we have a Genji skin, who are like 2 of the most popular characters. So I think those skins were put in there to draw. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that those 2 characters and D.Va got those legendary skins to draw people back in. So it wouldn't surprise me if they want to hit the first event with a bang and make it big again to satisfy and to draw people back in and be like, hey, look at Overwatch 2. It's amazing, even if the rest of it's not going to be as amazing or less so. That's my take anyway. Like, I hope
you're right.
Maybe I'm delusional.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right as well.
When the story stuff drops, I'm sure we'll definitely have.
Do you have any idea of a date for that? Like the main
story
campaign?
Stuff?
Yeah, I know it's 2023, but they haven't said anything.
I don't know.
I kind of hope it avoids. Like, I know getting it sooner would be great, but I feel like it needs to avoid like February and March because there's so many games coming out at that time.
Well,
it's going to be stacked.
Archives was always when we got the PV missions.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and that was late April.
Yeah, I think get that like April time would be great. I think that would work perfectly for it.
They're not going to be like when the story content drops. It's not going to be like a time thing, right? Like, surely the story content will be there constantly.
I don't think the main campaign
will
be.
be there constantly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I think the main campaign will be there constantly.
Yeah, I know. Like the events are different. Like the events are seasonal. I understand that.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping that when they drop the story modes, they're there constantly.
Yeah.
For anyone who then picks the game.
Yeah,
if they were to rotate them, what's the actual point? See, when you're saying that, but look, Destiny made that mistake.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore. They've said they're not
sunsetting
anymore.
Yeah. No, I know, but like then that means when you get a new character like a new player coming in, they have no clue what's going on.
My guess with this is it will go more of the Sea of Thieves route. Where,
I was about to say that.
Yeah. They had the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, which is playable whenever you want, and it's not going away.
That.
At least until the Disney license
as well,
finishes.
Because they have missions. Sea of Thieves has missions that can be played on any island. So like you might get like a set of clues which will lead you to one island. You can then replay the mission and do it for a different island and different set of clues. So I hope it's going to be like that you can go back and replay, because one of the key things in the old Overwatch 2 trailers was like this high level of replayability of scaling up and leveling up your characters and replaying. So
because you could like customize your character's abilities, couldn't you, within that mode? To
add to that replayability and to make it fun and interesting.
Yeah, I think it would be more like Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves does the seasonal story stuff as well, which isn't always like playable. But then they have the main campaigns that are always playable. So best of both worlds for that, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fair enough then, my guys. I think that's it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got a lot of opinions on Overwatch here.
We do.
So many opinions.
And we saved this podcast for later because of all the issues it had at the start.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't think it was fair reviewing it as we are for when it came out and it was just broken for so many people.
Yeah.
We had a good amount of time with
a lot of
progress
people...
on the battle pass. We can tell how it is and how the progression is and stuff like that. So
a lot of people forged early opinions, which were then unfortunately unfair. And
I understand the anger to it, because that is frustrating. I understand the frustration, but for us, I felt like we had to kind of wait a bit and sit back and have time with the game so we could actually give a.
I said at the start, whenever they added something to Overwatch 1, you would never get into the game. The servers would go down. There would be queues, and I felt like that again. I know it's I get. It shouldn't be like that. Their game should launch and it should work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it never does.
No.
So there should have kind of been an expectation or a drop in expectations of maybe I'm not really going to get in on the first day. Obviously, I know there was a lot of other things going on. There's some other stuff that people didn't agree with, all that kind of thing. But in terms of just getting onto the game, I knew we was not going to get onto the game the first day.
With any online game like this, I expect that at that point. I expect to have teething problems the first couple of days at most.
Yeah.
A whole week was a
they,
bit of an issue.
They seem to sort them out pretty decently. So
yeah, they were very on it, and
didn't help that they were getting DDoS at the same time.
Yeah, I think the communication was what made it okay for me. I think
that's the thing. By literally them coming out and being okay, we know it's broken, we know people are missing skins, we know this, we know that. That stopped everyone tweeting, calling, submitting tickets because they knew they were working on it.
Yeah.
And then you hearing that they're working on it, you're like, well, I might as well just carry on playing the game because it's just going to click back in, and it did. Well, try to get on the game. Yeah. But anyway, so I think we'll leave that there. Then we'll definitely be back for another one when the first sort of
story
hits.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Junkenstein's Revenge or whatever it's called now.
I think it's
we won't do it for the events because they're all there's several a year.
Unless there's a very, very significant lore drop with the event, which I highly doubt. It will be when the first campaign drops, essentially.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back for the campaign.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you think of Overwatch 2. If you had any difficulties at launch, who your favourite characters are to play now, and whether that's changed from Overwatch 1. And if you're new, how'd you find the the what's it called? The player
unlocking
system?
Characters.
Unlocking character system. Yeah. how do you find that? And yeah, just let us know. And leave a like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Oh.
Bye.